So the movie Babylon was recently released. Oh fuck, it came out like a month ago in the US. Yeah, I live in the UK, so it's a bit of a late one on my part, but, you know, through no fault of my own. Anyway, Babylon stars Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Diego Calva, Spider-Man, that SJW Harry Styles bit, and a bunch of other people you'll probably recognise. And it takes place in the 1920s, where we explore the rise and fall of several big names in early Hollywood in a fictional story of love, drugs, partying, chaos, ambition, more drugs, more partying, even more drugs. So we meet Nellie Leroy, who is a drug addict woman looking to make it big in movies. Jack Conrad is an established movie star who's one of the biggest names in the industry, and Manny Torres' dream is to work on a movie set. So this film seemed to be very hit or miss with audiences. Most critics are calling this trash, but I mean, I lost all hope in critics a long time ago. I hope you can understand. I saw a lot of mixed reactions, let's just say that, and I will say straight from the get-go that this film is definitely not for everyone. It has a long 3-hour runtime, and throughout this entire time, us as an audience are basically given no time to rest. I mean, the first 20 minutes at least is just a completely off-the-rails party, and much of the film is just as intense and keeps you either on the edge of your seat or just hoping that the sequence ends because your head hurts so much. Not to mention, there are noticeable issues with the pacing, characters I wish were explored more, and a lot of the scenes were just genuinely kind of disturbing. Anyway, despite all of this, I still really enjoyed this movie. For a film with so much madness going on, and I mean real madness that just makes you grateful you're a complete normie compared to the people on screen. It explores realistic scenarios and challenges that each character would have to face and stays true to who they are in the process. Nellie Leroy is a breakout star, but comes into the industry still a drug addict, and so she struggles to adjust to the stress and backlash that comes, you know, with the territory of being a movie star, which she ultimately just wasn't prepared for. This results in more drug consumption and carelessness, which ultimately costs her big time, and also places a big burden on Manny, who ultimately loves her too much to not help her out, and this affects his life negatively too. Jack Conrad is a big name actor whose new films are bombing, and he's coming to terms with the fact that his best movie days are over, and that there's little room for comeback due to, you know, many new up-and-coming movie stars. Every script he gets is mediocre at best, but he's trying not to give up hope. He also keeps getting engaged to like a new woman every like 6 months or something, which doesn't help considering that he comes to resent every single one of them, and when a very significant event happens in his personal life, no one is there for him except himself. Now I have to say that the acting, as expected, is incredible. I mean, playing a character inside of a character you're already playing, mad stuff. But Margot Robbie is easily one of the best actresses in Hollywood at the moment, and this is one of my favourite performances from her. Among complete chaos in every scene, she always seems to be the standout performer. And I mean, there's just one scene in particular where she first arrives on a movie set and acts for the first time, and it's just fantastic stuff to watch. Brad Pitt honestly plays himself in a lot of ways. His character is meant to be the cool, laid-back guy, but still has his flaws, and I mean, there's really no complaints to be said for his performance. He's one of the best actors alive today, I think we can all agree, and after seeing him in a more fun role in Bullet Train, seeing him back to doing this kind of work was great. Diego Calva was also fantastic. His character's just a guy who loves movies and wishes to be on a movie set, who ends up getting caught up in a lot of crazy shit since he's in love with Nellie, and yeah, he's just a joy to watch. All I can say is, welcome to Hollywood, but you know, just don't be too excited. One of the characters that I personally enjoyed a lot and wished we got more of was Sidney Palmer. We meet him as a saxophone player for the movies, who doesn't get the recognition he ultimately deserves, but when Manny convinces the studio to include the musicians in the camera shots, Sidney's career blows up. Now this brings both pros and cons to his career, and I just wish we explored this guy a bit more, to be honest. Speaking of the scenes, the first half of the movie was really great in my opinion. One of the standout parts for sure is when Nellie is filming a scene which they just keep having to reshoot, and you just feel like you're with the people working on the movie, and you feel their frustration so much. It's quite exhausting to watch, but in a good way, which unfortunately can't really be said for the rest of the movie. There's a lot of ridiculousness going on, I will say, especially in the second half. A lot of shit happens where you're just kind of sat there with no clue what you're about to witness, and although you were expecting something crazy anyway, what you get literally exceeds those expectations. It's honestly fucking wild. But anyway, I do feel like a lot of these parts dragged. These events could have still happened to establish just how insane these people were, but you know, given more time to characters in less chaotic situations to allow us to learn more about them and why they're this way. Like, we get the gist of where each character came from, but the learning of that stuff felt a bit throwaway or rushed for us to actually care or to feel as much sympathy as we should. Basically, the pacing's just a bit all over the place, and you know, this is a common criticism of a film with a 3-hour runtime, to be fair, but as I say, a lot of this film could be cut down or maybe just not even included at all. This film also has times where something crazy will happen, but then the film just moves on like nothing happened. Like, bro, I just saw one of the craziest scenes I've probably seen in years, and I'm expected to just move on from it immediately. Damn. But anyway, as I said before, I really did enjoy this movie. It's a lot of fun throughout, with many twists and turns, and its unpredictability makes the film unlike anything I've seen in recent years. I can't even count how many times I was left laughing, shocked, or even a bit nauseated, and to some that might sound like the worst experience at the movies ever, but for me, it worked, and honestly, I walked out with a much greater appreciation for what filmmakers do. I could tell that a lot of effort and work was put into this film to get everything right, and I respect that from a film, no matter the outcome. Anyway, that's all I've got for this review. I highly recommend that you do go check this film out, because as I say, it's not for everyone, but it might be for you. But to be fair, it is up to you, so you do what you want. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm grateful for you all. Now, fucking get your ass outside, get some fresh air. God damn. Bye.